Chapter 16 of The Flying Eyes by J. Hunter Holly. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 16. The meeting in Iverson's office was an echo of the previous ones. Iverson, Stanley, and Collins at first listened to his report eagerly, then slowly fell into despondency. When Link concluded, not even Collins was gloating over the fact that his bombing plan was not only acceptable, but demanded by the eyes themselves. "We're lost, aren't we?" Stanley murmured, the discipline and fight gone out of him. No one answered, and he continued, listing points for his own clarification. "If we give them the radiation, it will eventually kill us all. Certainly it will when they have reproduced, dividing into fours. Do you realize that it means 36 of them the first time alone? They'll want more radiation. 36 need more than 9. The next time there will be 144, and we'll surely be drowned in the fallout." "Nevertheless, we have to do it," Iverson said. "We have to commit racial suicide, and within 3 days, because if we don't, they'll do it for us. I can't stand to think of them separating and sending their cells out. The horror alone would be too much for a normal mind to tolerate. If they do it, there won't be a sane or sensible person left in the world within a week. Or we'll all go fast when they find the right men and blow up the bomb stockpiles. We're lost, all right. The whole earth is lost to man and animal. It belongs to the Zines from now on." Despite their previous opposition to him, Link felt the need to encourage them. Yet he could find no encouragement in the threats. The Zines had hemmed them in, and there was nothing to do but surrender up the earth to the greater power and greater horror of the monsters from space. "Unless they're bluffing," Collins interjected. "Unless they read your mind and are bluffing, and the bombing will kill them after all." "How?" Link asked. "If they can separate their cells and bring them back together again, they can't be killed by an explosion. They heal themselves. We've all seen it. Explode them, and they'll simply gather in their atomized particles and fuse them together again." "But maybe the bomb would entomb them in the hole, and—" "You can't entomb them, not when they can teleport." Link stood, worn out. "If there was a way to weaken them to the point where they couldn't use their mental powers to full advantage, we'd have a chance. But that's out, too. There's enough radiation on Earth itself to keep them alive and able without our artificial help. You may as well face it. We're going to have to give them their bomb in 3 days, and then another, and another. And that's all there is to it." As the stark truth settled over the room, he said brief goodbyes and left. He had fought and lost. He wanted no more of this struggling for a non-existent answer. Stanley and Collins didn't need him. They had made that plain before. They didn't like him or need him, and he let resentment take him and lead him home. Ichabod received him joyously, and he stooped to pat the little dog's head, then set out his dinner. The dog ate like a small wolf, and Link remembered the way Wes had joked about it, and he said the same joking words aloud in the kitchen, just to fill the silence. He cooked dinner for himself, then sat despondently in the living room. For the first time in his life, he was completely unsure. He had always envisioned himself as invincible, and certainly his past record supported that self-image. Now suddenly he was defeated. He was a small man, invincible in small crises, but bring on a big one and he was through. 2 hours passed, and the day waned, and Ichabod awoke from his nap. His feet clicked on the wood, were silent on the carpet, and then he was there before Link, one paw raised and brushing Link's knee, a high whine in his nose, and his mouth full of rubber rat. Link grinned despite his lethargy. "You want me to throw it, old boy?" he asked the spotted dog. Ichabod immediately dropped the rat, wet and forlorn, on the carpet. Link picked it up, squeezed it to produce the artificial noise Ichabod dearly loved, and heaved it into the dining room. The dog tore away after it, skidding on the waxed floor. He snuffed it around a bit, then brought it back. Link repeated the game once, twice, 5 times, until Ichabod's fat stomach panted for breath. "Enough, friend," Link told him. "You've got to watch your heart. You're too fat." He straightened, realizing what he was doing. In the deadly silence of the house and the loneliness, he was talking to the dog as Wes had talked to him, treating Ichabod as someone willing to listen and share. He started to reproach himself, then said, "What the hell?" and patted his lap as Wes had always done to coax the dog into it. Ichabod jumped up, turned around, and sat down. Link stroked the hard, springy hair. The smell of the dog was strong, but not unpleasant. "Whatever you are, I think I'm beginning to understand. You're automatic companion and mind eraser combined, aren't you?" Ichabod swiveled his head about and licked Link's chin. "Maybe I've missed a lot ignoring you. But then, you didn't offer much either. It was always and only Wes." The dark dog eyes stared into his, partly puzzled, partly sad, like all dog eyes. "I don't blame you for being confused, little dog. I guess you never had such problems thrust upon you. But you see, I'm in a blind alley, and I haven't found a way out." The phone bell erupted into the quiet, and Ichabod sat bolt upright. "Pay no attention," Link quieted him. "We're not going to answer it. Let them consider us evacuated or dead. Tomorrow we're going to be evacuated. I have enough power of my own left to get both of us out safely. And by heaven, we're not going to stay here and be irradiated to death." His voice covered the jingling of the phone, and then it stopped, and he sat back, his hands on the dog's body. Ichabod was warm, and the steady rhythm of his breathing was comforting. Link cast his doubts aside and accepted friendship where he found it. During the next hour, the phone rang 8 times, and there was one knock on the door. It wasn't late, yet outside it was dark with the early twilight of autumn. Link didn't put on any lights. Let everyone think him gone. Tomorrow he would be. When he dozed in the chair with Ichabod, the dog left him to stretch out more comfortably on the carpet. The clock striking 8 woke him. No sooner had the last chime faded than another pounding came at his door. After a short wait, a key fitted into the lock, clicked, and the door opened. The lights snapped on, and Kelly stood there, looking anxious. "For heaven's sake, you're home," she said. "I thought you'd left the dog all alone from the way he was barking." "No, we've been keeping each other company." "And not answering phones." "Were you the one who called?" he asked. "I called twice. It was time for Ichabod's dinner, and I wanted to be sure you were here to feed him." "We're a fine pair. The world is coming apart around us, and all we're concerned about is a dog." "I intend to stay concerned. Ichabod belonged to Wes. I intend to be concerned as long as Ichabod lives." "If you're concerned about anything else, you've come to the wrong place." As he looked at her, the old guilt came back to stifle him. "I've come to the only place I have," Kelly said. "To the only person I have left, or care one damn about. I heard about your experience today." "How did you hear? I imagined it would be top secret." "Dr. Iverson called me. He's been trying to reach you." "I suspected as much when the phone wouldn't stop ringing. I have no further business with him." "He wants you back on the team. He said that whether or not anything was accomplished, he'd like to have you there, that he'd feel more secure with you behind him." Kelly slipped out of her coat and switched on more lights. "It's too dark and morbid in here." "You may as well use them all. Before long there won't be any electricity. There won't be any more anything." She stopped in the middle of a motion and studied him. Her green eyes were soft and concerned. There was something different about her, although Link couldn't exactly pinpoint it. All the teasing had gone out of her voice, the flirting from her eyes. She was suddenly more woman than girl, and he could have sworn sincere for the first time since he'd known her. She came toward him slowly, and he swung away. He couldn't face it. Not the touch, nor the embrace she obviously intended. "Don't push me off again," she pleaded. "If we're all either of us have left, why can't we be together? Is it still because you don't trust me?" Link shrugged. "You can trust me now, Link. In the last few days, I've done a lifetime of growing up and growing wiser. I've come to sense, to know myself and you. I realize it sounds trite at this moment, but I love you, Link. I love you and need you, not as a protector, but as a part of myself." Link still avoided direct contact with her. "You can't deny that you've changed either," she continued. "Those hairs on your coat are dog hairs. You've been holding Ichabod. That tells me a lot. You've come to need, just like everybody else needs. You need to be loved now, and now I can give it to you." She was saying that the change in him had made it possible for her to find affection where she hadn't before. Could that be true?
Before, you always had to be the one to give. You wanted to wait on me, to order me. By caring for the little things, you thought you could demand the bigger things. I couldn't face that.
But that's not true at all, he protested. I catered to you simply because I knew no other way. I had no other way. I wasn't Wes who could ply you with poetry and gentleness. Kelly shook her head wonderingly.
I never saw it that way. I never understood.
It doesn't matter now. He tried to put an end to the mutual confession. All that is done.
It is not. If we both changed and become new human beings, then don't deny these new beings a chance. Link, the guilt is past. What we did is done, and keeping apart will never rectify it. You still have work to do. Despite what you're feeling now, you're the only one who has a prayer of solving this terrible problem. And you can't do it if you're torn and denying yourself the things you need. Admit them and get on with your work.
I have no work.
You're simply discouraged. Don't you see, Link? If there is any hope left in the world, that hope is you. You are the only man to make contact with the eyes, to ever stand against them and come out alive. No one else can do what you can do. You know things no one else knows. You've experienced things they've only heard secondhand. Yes, and if it comes to it, no one else can even go down swinging as well as you.
He stared at her, absorbing what she said and weighing it. Something stirred in him in answer to her, because she was making such sense. He wanted to express it, but all that came forth was, "You have changed, Kelly. Astoundingly."
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
She sat down beside him. He didn't shy away. Her hand covered his, and then her arms were about him. And he was holding her closely and tightly. His sense of guilt ebbed in the embrace. He had paid the debt. She murmured into his ear,
I think we're worthy of each other now. We've grown up, and I had a terrible lot of it to do.
And I, he answered, I've discovered my own weaknesses, finally, and surprisingly enough, it hasn't made me vulnerable. He kissed her, then drew her still closer. All that he had wanted a few weeks before was suddenly his, born out of horror and guilt and despair, but his, and all the sweeter because of it. I don't ever want to move again, he said to her.
No, Link, we can have tonight, but tomorrow I must give you back to Iverson. Promise that you'll go.
End of chapter 16.